Hello YouTube fans, here again. Now I thought I'd do the next part of Amazing Stories. That's right, the Amazing Stories were another of my favourites. This one has to be one of my favourite because it feels like an Alfred Hitchcock film. That's right, it feels like an Alfred Hitchcock film. It's something you've probably seen tales from the tip, or a story you've probably seen tales from the dark side. What I mean by that is, it's to do with this serial killer, right, kills women. And they called him the piano killer. That's right, they called him the piano killer because he kills women with the note. You know the notes what you use to play the pianos with? Well, the actual lining what you press the piano with, he uses to strangle his women. That's right, he uses it to strangle his women. And you don't see the killer until nearly at the end. So when I say this one, everyone's never seen Amazing Stories, done by Steven Spielberg, I will have to say spoilers. That's right, I'll have to say spoilers because I don't want to spoil it if you've never seen this episode. But it's an episode I would recommend check out. So it's always a woman, right, and she gets strangled and murdered. Again, it's not too graphic because it's made for TV. But then the killer, this guy sees it, he's like a bum, about to call the police. He gets fucking strangled. I shit you not. He gets strangled, and I'm thinking this is bitty ballsy. For TV, this is bitty ballsy. So the killer runs into this place like a restaurant, and you've got a sidekick. You've got a guy who reads the palms, and he's a sidekick. Long below, he touches the killer's hands. You don't see the killer again, and he sees the murder, but you don't actually see the face. So basically, it's a who's done it. The sidekick sees this, and he calls for the police. You do get a detective what comes in halfway through, and basically it's investigating about this guy who's a psychic who's written the killer called the piano killer. It's not like a who's done it, and it's more like an Alfred Hitchcock film. Very expensive, very good. And there's bits where I'm thinking Steven Spielberg directed this story. Seriously. Normally you see him direct things with aliens, cute little aliens like E.T. or something like that. No, he did Drool, which I reviewed, and he did things let's say like Jaws, what I reviewed. So this was a profession change for Steven Spielberg to direct something like this. It's not as gruesome, it's not as violent. You want to go into blood and gore, go into tales from the tip, or you want something a lot more darker, go and tales from the dark side, or something bloodthirsty, just what's fed his nightmares. It's more of a suspense whodunit story. So again, there's a funny bit in it where he's in the night bar and he says to the detective, I sense something. I'm going to be rich and I'm going to meet a beautiful woman. And the detective just makes me laugh in this scene. He says, give it a break. In other words, he smells bullshit. So he's going through the room and he's feeling things because on his psychic, by touching something, he can sense what has happened and things. I actually sense that the killer who killed the girl, but he hasn't seen who it is. Now this is the bit where I'm going to say spoiler, because if you've never seen this episode of Amazing Stories, I do not want to spoil it because it will ruin it on you. I don't want to spoil it. So this is I'm going to say it. Spoiler. Okay, you've been warned. Spoiler. So if you want to find out the rest of the story, pause what I'm watching, or go back to it, see if you can find it somehow, and watch the piano killer of Amazing Stories. Because this is what happens, right? He's tucked in the piano, he's in the motel, he's got a key, right, of the killer's motel where the killer's staying. And he touches the piano, and he notices there's bits of the piano notes what are missing. And you know the person who he went to see, who was the detective, he is the killer. That's right, he senses it, and it's also a bit die looking, it's also perfection, and that's when you find out the one who he called for was the piano killer. He was the one who went around strangling women with the notes of the bar wires, I say it again, what they play the pianos with. He strangled them with that. He sees that he is the piano killer. The killer knows it, tries to kill him. Accidentally gets a shot done. You see it off screen because again it's made for TV. And you got the idea that he got shot and blew his brains out. You don't see any blood or any of that. because again it's made for TV, but you get the impact that he basically shot his head off. And I love to see where he calls for a detective on the phone and the guy says, yeah, but this time gotta feed your palms before you come in. In other words, he wants to detective, he is a protective, but he's the killer. And I love the story. I just think it was suspenseful, it was psychological, it was everything I like in amazing stories. For this to be like a kid's adventure, I felt this one was dark. I do know they did another one that was more like a horror one, but even then that was more played for laughs. This one was a dark one. This is one where I would say if Steven Spielberg wanted to make a movie of it, he could do, because this was better than some of the shit you see nowadays, what they call thrillers. So yeah, I like that one of Amazing Stories. I like it. The funny thing is, the next one was one to do with these aliens. Two little aliens. I think you've gone to one with a serial killer strangling women to one now where you got two little aliens. There's these two little aliens, and you've got a young lad who's trying to make something like, say, like Sky TV, right? And he makes Sky TV, what it looks like. It's like aliens going to watch BBC or something. And these aliens, you're watching something like that, and it's sort of like the alien version of TV. And these aliens, I was saying something like that, was a bit erupted there, some noise. But as I was saying, yeah, these aliens, it's all like what would happen if you watch Sky or TV with aliens. And you've got one lad in it, right? And you might remember him in, he was one that played in Deadly Friends. He was also once in Little House on the Prairie. Well, he's actually in this, and they meet these aliens who come to Earth, and basically they're mad on TV. They like watching TV. So they go and they look for an old Hollywood star. Obviously the Hollywood star just does one. And it's like, what would happen if aliens want to watch TV and want to see Hollywood? And basically just want to sit on the butt watching TV all day. So I like that one. I thought it was quite fun. It was an harmless little story off one, you know what I mean? And I like that one. For Amazing Stories, yeah, I like that one. So yeah, that was a good one. And then I've got the other one. This is one with Daphne Costner and Kiefer Sutherland. I had a few good actors in this. Again, I say it again, you've got Kiefer Sutherland and Daphne Costner. That's that I was trying to think of. And it's based on Pearl Harbor, you know, based on the olden times, World War II. And they're on a jet airplane and they're shooting after the chaps, you know what I mean, the Vietnamese, based on the olden times, World War II, Pearl Harbor. And by accident, there's a bit of the lid, you know, the old jet airplanes with the guns in, that gets broken and the lad gets stuck in it. And the only thing is, if you land this airplane, it will crush him to death. You know, so I like this one. It played on a lot of emotions. This lad's stuck, and you feel sorry for him. You feel sorry for him. So there's a scene in it where Kiefer Sutherland is going to shoot him. You think, no, don't do it, don't do it. And he has a change of heart. And again, you've got, like I say, you've got Daphne Costner, damn good actor, damn good acting, and a damn good performance. And they're about to land the airplane down, right? Because they've got no option. But then goes a little bit who fame wants a rabbit, because this lad, right, he has a talent that he can draw. He's a very good artist, and he can draw pictures, he can draw airplanes, he's an artist, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And this lad, he can draw, he's artistic, and he can draw things. But then it goes a bit cartoon, like, you know, he draws a reel, goes on the airplane, lowers him down, and it saves his life. You know, it saves his life. I thought it was a bit anti-thematic, that one, but I let it go because, you know, you got two good actors. You got Kiefer Sutherland, right? And again, you've got the other good actor, you know, Field of Dreams, the man himself, Kevin Costner. So you've got two good actors. You've got Kevin Costner and you've got Kiefer Sutherland. So for that, that's a good one. So that's three stories from Amazing Stories. You know, three stories, as I said, from Amazing Stories. And I like it. You know, I like that. So again, that's another one that I like. I'll probably do some more authority stories, some more things on the way into them. I'll do other stuff, and if you like what you see, have a best subscribe or leave a nice comment. Until then, I'll see you soon.